Happy New Year. It feels good, really good to be back here on the other side of this. And as you can see, the tummy has been snatched back. Pregnancy's got nothing on me. Welcome back to this space. And if you've been following my pregnancy videos, thumbs up. And if you're just joining us, thank you. Grab a chair, buy your popcorn, sit down because we're going to enjoy this ride with us. And according to the plan, this is the part where I get to share my actual experience and my second birth experience, how it went, and how where we are. Also, according to plan, this is supposed to be the final episode where I get to share the actual birth experience and say our final goodbye to pregnancy journey. But then the actual experience proposed is season 2 of the pregnancy experience that you people have been enjoying in the past. And in case you're feeling my feet, let me just you. So I mentioned earlier how I'm actually going through a lot. And one of the lots is the fact that by the time I went into the lot of pregnancy and came back out of the lot of the pregnancy, only my Iro and Buba remained loyal. Every other dress sharp undersized me. So I'm actually be taking you guys through the journey of me changing my wardrobe, and I hope you guys have fun with me as much as I am going to have fun doing this. So this fit is a transformation from this old Dendemula dress that I used and go through a lot of pregnancy, and this is the style inspiration. Let's get back to the gist. Come closer. So in my previous video, I shared a little backstory of how my first birth experience went and a little about how I intend to have my second birth. And in this video, I'll be sharing how it's actually went. Fun fact, I made 2 other videos before I gave birth after my last video where I shared how I wanted my birth to go and the plans I put in place to make that happen. For one reason or the other, which you would find out soon enough, I decided not to post those videos, but I will be making reference to those videos as we go along in this episode. So play back to 35 weeks.
Yeah, up until 35 weeks, everything has been fine. And meanwhile, every time I go for my appointment, the doctor checks the baby, checks me, check the heart rate, checks my blood pressure, all the vitals, then checks the position of the baby. So it's been a roller coaster of this child changing position. It's been like head down, transverse, week upon week of visiting. And I began to get worried. And this doctor told me that, no, don't worry now, that until like 36 weeks, the baby can still turn. Now, once it is 36 weeks, that is when they can say that there's no longer space for the baby to turn. So whatever position the baby maintains at 36 weeks, that's how the baby would come out. So that will determine the kind of birth you're going to have. Then I was still going for 2 weeks interval appointment. So my next appointment after the 35th week was going to be 37th week. So after that appointment, I was praying and hoping for the best that by the time I go back for my 37th week appointment, the baby would have been head down and taking position for birth. Then this day came. And I went for my 37th week appointment. And my doctor checks and goes, Madam, this baby is transverse. You're going to have a CS.
That was way opposite my plan because I did not only want to give birth vaginally, I wanted to have a home birth. I did not only want to have a home birth, I wanted to have a pool birth. I had planned for it. I had put things in place. I had done a lot, starting from being intentional about the things I ate, like I had mentioned in my previous videos, to getting my pool ready, to having a birth team and informing all of them of the things they're supposed to do, their roles on that very day, to getting my mind prepared, to listening to a lot of podcasts. I mean, I did a lot to get myself ready. And the end goal really for me was to, in my head at that time, glorify God, let people know that God can do this unmedicated, and also encourage other people who might maybe be scared of vaginal birth or who have so many misconceptions around birthing and all of that. So that was the plan.
And also, a day before my appointment, I kind of felt an involuntary leak. I wasn't sure whether it was urine or whether it was my fluid, the amniotic fluid at the little camp. So I had to let him know so that I'll be sure that everything is okay. So when I told him, he was like, okay, we're going to do a vaginal exam. Let's be sure that there is nothing wrong. In case it is the amniotic fluid, as we are right now, you're not going to go back home. I'm going to do the CS right now. So my spirit was already troubled at that point. And I told him to give me a moment. So I went out. My husband was not around at that time. I went out, called my husband over the phone. I was crying. While I was narrating everything that was going on, he kept telling me, "Hey, calm down. Just calm down first. Just calm down. Even if they say they don't want to admit you and do this, it's okay." So I went back inside for the vaginal exam, and thanks to God, it wasn't the fluid, so everything was still intact. And then he told me that I should go home and get back to him with the date. I want to come and do the CS so that we can get it done and move on. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to give birth in September, which is my own birth month also, but not the same date. My EDD is different from my date. So in my head, there's an opportunity to actually have this child on my birthday, and do CS. So I told God, I didn't plan CS from the beginning. I cannot change plan now. So I walked away from that office telling myself that no, I'm not going to do this. Yes. And when I left the hospital that day, after crying my eyes out, I first of all drove to Eden Garden to go and eat amala. If you have problem, eat first. True to God. My problem will vanish. I first of all hit amala and drank cold water to step and then from there I went to the church. There is a powerful place in my church that we usually call the altar benches. There is nothing you take there that God is not going to solve or answer. So I went to the church with my hospital card because my doctor writes report of everything he sees in the card. So I went with that and then went to open it on the altar. I took it to the altar and told God that God, this is doctor's report. I need you to change this report. Come and do your miracle and change this child. So I prayed, shedding tears on that card on the altar. I then reached out to this doula I've been talking about, and then she gave me a plug of a midwife in Lagos. She listened to all my worries, offered solutions, and held my hand through everything I was going through at that moment, and gave recommendations. And from the recommendations of the midwife, she said I should get a second opinion after doing all the things she recommended. Part of the things she recommended was that if I could swim, I should swim. Swimming could help. There's this exercise called mouth circuits, and they're out there, they call that. So I was trying all these exercises, the stretches, the position, taking a walk. I don't know how to swim, so I didn't swim. Then I was climbing stairs. There's the way you be climbing stairs sideways, doing all sorts of things to help that can help. I mean, open up, give space. And then I was told that while doing this exercise, I should do them on empty stomach so that food do not fill up the space that they even create for babies to turn. All the things that could encourage babies to turn head down. I was doing all those things. And also it was recommended that I had a prenatal massage. So there's this other plug that was plugged onto me. I reached out to her. She came around to give me the prenatal massage alongside all the exercises, plus especially most importantly prayers and emotional support from my loved ones. I went to get a second opinion, and lo and behold, my baby was head down. I was so happy. I was so relieved. Now this was in between that previous appointment and the next one, right? So I was already happy that how Oluwa show she going to tell. And then I went back for my appointment again, and doctor checks me and says this baby is not head down. Although this baby is no longer transverse, the baby is now oblique cephalic. Hey, this is what I don't read. I don't even make a papa right now. I don't become doctor. All the times I've used this my ear to ear. Hey, God. And then it goes that the baby is head down, but not longitudinal. That is not aligning to my spine. He's head down, but he's putting head in one corner. Oh my! Corner. God, go to the way. So I left the hospital dejected again that day, and continued firing prayers and all these exercises and all the things I had been doing before then. And then I went to another lab to get another independent opinion, and my baby was head down. So at the next appointment, which at this time is now 39 weeks, I entered my doctor's office with Rishi envelope and then my hospital card. While trying to hand over my hospital card, he goes, madam, why do you have plenty scan result like that? I said, doctor, it's me and this child said. And then the doctor checks that day and says, madam, your baby is head down today. Let's hope that this position is maintained until your labor begins, and then you'll be able to have vaginal delivery without any problem.
And after preparing and getting myself ready, the next phase was to wait for the labor to kick in and then the child arrives. And my EDD was supposed to be September 20th. I had like 4 EDDs. I had 20th, I had 22nd, I had 24th, and I had 26th. Although for my first, my baby came a week before EDD. So I was very optimistic that this baby too would come a week before EDD, which coincidentally happened to be my birthday. That was going to be 13th September. And let me quickly mention this. My actual birth experience came with a lot of lessons. It went way beyond what I planned, and God gave me something more beautiful than I even imagined. I'm going to be sharing all of that with you, and I'm very sure that someone out there needs to hear some of these things. So back to the story. I was optimistic that my baby would come on 13th, so I had been preparing for that day. I was doing all the exercise, the kind of exercises that would make the baby come a week before EDD. I was doing squats, I was doing mass circuits, scope work, ability because I was doing. Looking back now, I'm laughing at myself really because I was doing a lot of things. Even the one we didn't send me, I was doing. So 13th September came and wakad. My baby did not come. I'm like, okay, well, maybe the baby wants to have his own date. It's not a problem. You shall come. And then my first official EDD came. That was 20th September. My baby still didn't come. So small backstory again. I'd been feeling little contractions since the beginning of September actually. And that wasn't new because I felt that through my first. And even during my second, from the second trimester, I think I'd been feeling it, all these light contractions that hold you and, leave you alone, and then you'll be fine again. Now, by the beginning of September, I was now feeling this particular thing frequently. That gave me that very high hope that by 13th September, with the way I'm feeling, I was going to have my baby. And by that 13th September, I was going to be around 36 weeks or so, of which a baby is mature enough to come out into the world. We'll say I not plan for this season to have episodes, but Messi said no. So I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.